everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I need you to bear with me a little bit because I don't have Landon helping me film today. So I'm not sure if I'm completely centered in the camera. I'm not sure if you can see everything laid out in front of me. I'm not really sure exactly how it's gonna be, but I'm gonna get up and go back and forth and try to check. But I'm not used to filming by myself. But like I mentioned in my last video, I'm trying to adjust my school and work schedule and everything and have time to film because I've been struggling with time to film, which is why I didn't post a video the week before last. So today's video is going to be my Boxycharm video. So I know my Boxycharm video was the video before last, but I do it every month and I have my box and I missed a video. It's technically time for my Boxycharm even though the video before last was a Boxycharm. I'm filming this at 7:30, so I'm hoping that it will stay daylight outside while I film this video. But anyways, I'm going to jump right in. The box looks like when you open it, and I'm gonna go ahead and mention this first product in the box. I got a Morphe brush set. So real quick, I'm just gonna read what it says about it because this is something, obviously I'll review it, but I'm gonna be using it along with other products. So I was just gonna go ahead and mention that to start off with. So this is the Morphe I Got This brush set. It is 4 natural and synthetic eye brushes, includes an oval shadow brush, pro firm blending crease brush, tapered mini blender brush, and an angle liner brush, and that retails for $12. So when I do my eyeshadow, I will review those products. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the makeup products in the box. The next product in the box for me to use is concealer, so I'm going to go ahead and prime my face and do my foundation and everything, and then I'll come back and do the concealer. Now I'm going in with the next product, which I'm super excited about. I've never tried this. I've never even tried the foundation, but this is the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Concealer. So I've never even used the Born This Way foundation. I know so many people rave about it, but I've just never purchased it. So it definitely comes in very bulky packaging. They sent me the shade Cloud, so I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but this shade looks very, very light. And if you've watched my videos, you know I like a concealer that is a little close to the actual shade of my skin. Like if I had a foundation shade in the shade 3, I would probably want a concealer in the shade 2. I just don't like a big difference in shade, but I'm gonna try it. So this says, conceal, contour, highlight, and retouch with this super perfecting natural finish concealer / makeup hybrid. Full loaded pigments provide maximum coverage with an undetectable finish for a look so flawless that you'll think you were born this way. And this retails for $29. So I'm really excited about the product. I'm just nervous about the shade. But the packaging is beautiful. It's just it's very bulky. See, it comes with a very decent size applicator. So I guess I'm just going to go in and see what we think. Oh, this is very light. Okay, I'm just going to apply I don't know what's a small amount and what's a big amount. I'm kind of terrified right now. I really hope that this blends out and doesn't look crazy because I didn't even put that much foundation on. Okay, so product-wise, the concealer is sitting fantastic on my skin, actually. I haven't set it or anything, and honestly, it feels like my skin. But honestly, I feel like I could get away with not even setting it at all. Now, the color is a little light. I don't know how much the camera is picking up. If I bought the product again, I would probably go at least a shade darker, just because it's a little lighter than what I prefer. If you've watched my videos, you know that I am very set on the Naked Skin concealer. I love it. As of right now, I'm kind of obsessed with it. The shade is a little light, and we will see what we think by the end of the video. But moving on to the next product, the next product in the box that I have to use will be an eyeshadow primer, which I actually think that I already own. But I'm gonna do the rest of my face and then come back for the eyeshadow primer. So this is the Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later Eye Primer. It says cruelty-free primer that enhances your eyeshadow and protects your makeup all day. Apply in the morning and go all night long without worrying. Dries quickly and transparently, prepping your eyelids for a smooth and even application of your shadow. And this retails for $20. I'm definitely not someone that's gonna pay $20 for an eyeshadow primer just because I usually put concealer on my eyelids, which I actually did today and didn't even think about. But that's what I typically do. So I actually do own this primer already, and I do like this primer. I know I just sat here and said that I'm not gonna pay $20 and then I just told you that I have this primer. I do really like it. It does dry super fast. It does provide a very good base for your eyeshadows. I don't have much to say on it. It's just an eyeshadow primer. But I do think that it's a good product. I'm just not gonna pay $20 for it. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next product, which is the Violet Voss Essentials 2 palette. So I know I have just the normal Essentials palette. These 10 eyeshadows provide all the everyday hues you need to create your go-to soft glam, as well as vivid pops of color to liven up your look. And this retails for $36. So 10 eyeshadows, $36. I don't think that's a terrible price. This is what the palette looks like. So I'm actually very excited for it. And I'm going to use some of the brushes in the Morphe kit. I don't see why I'm gonna have anything bad to say about these brushes. I love Morphe brushes. They're probably my favorite. I doubt I'm gonna have anything bad to say about any of those brushes at all. I'm actually very happy that I got this. I've really been needing brushes. So I'm just going to start off and jump right in. I'm gonna go in with the shade Clay right here, and I'm going to use this brush that came in the Morphe kit. And eyeshadow does lay really good on top of this eyeshadow primer. Like I said, I've used it before, and I do like the eyeshadow primer. These shadows, I mean, I've only used this one, but the shadow is already blending good on top of the eyeshadow primer. It's not sticky or anything like that. So I'm just slowly building this color up to get the color that I want in the crease. And I'm really liking this shadow so far. The only matte shades in the palette are these two right here, and then these two right here, the blue one and the brown underneath it. So I find that a little inconvenient just because, like, right now I thought one of these purples was matte and I was gonna do a matte color on the outside, but they're shimmer. So I think that I'm just gonna use them anyways. I'm gonna go in with the shade Blue Violet, and I'm using this brush from the Morphe set. It is definitely a shader brush, and I'm gonna go in with that shade in the outer portion of my eye. And now I'm just gonna take that first brush that I used and blend what I just did out into the crease, so it's not such a harsh change of color. So those colors blended really well. I'm going to go in with the Free Gold shade. Now I'm going to see how this gold shade blends with this purple shade, since they were both shimmers. Wow, this shade is super, oh, I totally pronounced that wrong. I was looking at this and I was definitely thinking that this shade was coming off rose gold instead of gold. And I totally read the shade name wrong. The name of the shade is rose gold. I think I read like Free Gold or something, but the shade is most definitely rose gold, and it's beautiful and very pigmented. I'm going to go in with the shade Chocolate Brown, and I'm going to take a very small amount of that, and I'm using the same brush, and I'm just using a darker shade to blend into the crease and darken it up just a little bit, and then bring all of these shades together. And I'm actually going to go in with the other blending brush in the Morphe set. It's a little smaller than the one I was just using, and so it's giving me a little bit more of precise blending. I didn't do swatches on this palette, and I usually do that in my Boxycharm videos whenever I have an eyeshadow palette to review. But just with Landon not being here, I really didn't even want to. I just didn't want to try that because angling the camera and being sure you can see it, and I didn't want to do it. So I did it. But I am obsessed with this eyeshadow. I think that it looks amazing. I do wish there was a shade that I could put in my brow bone in this palette and in my inner corners, and there's not. So I'm going to do that with one of my own shades. Sorry, I'm still blending. I'm just trying to really blend it out and get them even and looking the way that I want them. The next thing in the box is lipsticks or lip crayons. But anyways, so I'm going to finish up my eyes and everything, and then I will move on to lips. Okay, so the final thing in the box is this, which is the Trestique A Matte for Every Mood mini matte lip crayon set. Every shade to match every one of your moods. It's velvety, buildable color with a weightless matte finish that lasts all day. Ultra soft matte lip crayons come in a petite size, making it perfect for on the go. So there are many colors in here. They come in a little thing like this. So I have a couple of these Trestique lip crayons actually, but I'm not sure if I have any of these colors. So with the eyeshadow that I'm wearing, I think I'm going to go in with this shade, which is Florence Fig. And I'm not gonna use a lip liner or anything. These lip crayons aren't super hard to use. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so this shade actually turned out to be a little bit darker than what I thought it was gonna be. But that's okay. I don't love it with the eyeshadow that I have on, but that's okay. So like I mentioned, I've used these before, but that is the last product in the box. So I'm just going to breeze over the products that I've used. So the brushes, the only brush in the kit that I did not use was this angled brush. I don't use brushes like this often. There were 2 size blending brushes and then a shader brush. All 3 of these brushes I loved. It doesn't surprise me. I didn't think that I wouldn't love them. They will probably become brushes that I use almost every day. I love Morphe brushes, so I don't have anything negative to say about the brushes. The concealer, I actually never even ended up setting with powder, and it still looks fantastic. It hasn't even creased at all, not that I can tell, and it's not, as you guys know, my skin is very dry. I mention it in every video. And it's not dried my skin out at all. It literally looks like my skin. Like even when I put a mirror up close to it and I look at it really close, I can't even tell that I have anything on my skin at all. It looks completely like my skin. I'm obsessed with a concealer. I fully think it's worth the money. I will buy it again, just like I mentioned earlier. If I do buy it again, which if I run out of this, I will probably buy it again. I really like this product as of right now. But I would definitely buy it in a darker shade. But I don't think it looks terrible right now. I think it's just me, honestly, on camera. You probably can't even tell and you think I'm being dramatic. But no, I really do like it. The only negative thing I had to say, I mentioned earlier, the packaging is just very bulky, but that's not a big deal. And then the eyeshadow primer. So I also mentioned I've used it before. It's just an eyeshadow primer. I'm not gonna pay $20 for an eyeshadow primer, but if you do use eyeshadow primer, this is one of my favorite ones that I've used. I've not used a lot of them, but I do really like this one. I recommend it to eyeshadow primer users, and I will continue to use it because I do randomly use eyeshadow primer. So the eyeshadow palette, I used those 4 shades. I used 2 of the shimmer shades and 2 of the matte shades. So that rose gold shade was more of like a metallic shade. I'm obsessed with the eye look that I created from it. I think the colors blended together perfectly. I don't have anything negative to say at all.